welcome to a new episode of the Book Fix podcast, where we fix lives one book at a time. Thank you very much. My name is Cheli.
And I'm Yajaira. And today, we're vibing.
We're vibing. Dude, I'm so excited.
For what?
Because I feel like ever since we've started this podcast, we've always read books because they're big, because people are talking about it. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, this book was heavily talked about. But I don't know. It feels nice having waited for a book release.
Dude, you know what's so funny? I would not have gotten this book had it not been for your encouragement. Don't get me wrong. I was excited about the idea of it, but I was like on a book buying ban. And you totally killed it. Don't worry. It's fine. It's because Cheli texted me, or did you call me? I don't remember. You called or texted me telling me, oh my God, we can meet Miss Leigh Bardugo. All you have to do is buy her graphic novel or pre-order it, whatever, same thing.
It's
and I was like,
gonna do this like event thing, and only a few people won. But spoiler alert, we lost.
Dude, I was really hoping that one of us would get lucky, but no, we didn't. So sad.
But still, we both bought Demon in the Wood, Shadow and Bone graphic novel by best-selling author Leigh Bardugo and artist Dani Pendergast.
Yes, and I'm sure that most of you are probably familiar with Shadow and Bone, so this is just an extension of the Darkling story.
Yeah, but like also a beautiful moment for us, because look at how far we've come. Because Shadow and Bone was our first episode.
Shout out to our first episode of our podcast. I mean, it almost wasn't. It almost didn't make it as our first, but yeah, I'm so glad that it was our first episode, because I feel like I'm happy that we talked about something that we both enjoyed.
I know. And honestly, I would say go listen to it, but maybe just let it be. You know, like let her just be there.
I feel like we've gone through so many transformations in this podcast. We've just changed our format so much, and I just enjoy our format now that when I go back to like the first couple of episodes that we did, I was like, damn, we've come a long way.
So we're going to go ahead and talk about Demon in the Wood, the graphic novel by Leigh Bardugo, drawn by Dani Pendergast. And I'm going to try to give a summary. If you want to add anything, let me know. But I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, short and sweet and to the point.
Thank you. So Demon in the Wood is a prequel of Shadow and Bone, following the Darkling and his mom, who in the story are going by the names Eric and Lena. They live in a world that is like pre the little palace. The Darkling hasn't created that yet. And Grisha at this time live in hiding most of their lives. And as seen through Eric and Lena with their constant moves, they live in a world where they will never have a safe haven. Eric and his mom are shadow summoners, and also amplifiers. So they live their lives in hiding so that no one will know their true ability.
Yeah, because it'll be very dangerous for the both of them.
But I do recommend go read it. Honestly, it was a cheap book and it was an easy read. I recommend it. I do recommend you read Shadow and Bone trilogies first, though.
I haven't even read the trilogy.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
One part of the book that happened, two parts actually, that I marked off where I was like, oh, fuck, Yajaira read this.
What do you mean?
There's two parts that I kind of wanted you to read later.
Well, girl, here's the thing. Some things go over my head because I don't know the connection. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know which parts you're talking about, but yeah. Okay. Like sometimes when I'm reading things, I'm just like, I don't know if this means anything or if they're lying to me, because not to go off on a tangent, but I did read the Six of Crows duology, and there's things that they say that happened in Shadow and Bone, the trilogy. And I'm just like, I don't know if this actually happened or if this is like one of those things where they think this is what happened and it didn't actually happen.
That's what the characters think, but the actual characters who went through something else.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but I do think that it's really interesting for the both of us to talk about the prequel to Shadow and Bone, you having read all of the trilogy and me not having read past the first book. So I think that's interesting.
So wait, let's go ahead and based on the Grishaverse, Yajaira has read Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, and Crooked Kingdom.
And that's it. That's it, baby.
And I read Shadow and Bone, but the trilogy, all 3 books, and Crooked Kingdom, Six of Crows. But I have not read the Nikolai duology yet.
Oh, yeah. You're waiting for me, right? You better be.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, thank God.
I have them. I look at them sometimes and I'm like, oh, God.
You're like, I look at them every single day.
But I want you to catch up with the trilogy. It's funny because I look at the trilogy and I'm like, oh my gosh, Yajaira needs to get on that. But then I look behind, because like right behind those books, I have the whole complete series, the Shatter Me series. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you also need to get on that, girl.
Dude, no, but isn't it crazy that like through our podcast, because I could say Shadow and Bone is like one of my favorite books. And I know Shatter Me is one of your favorite books. So through this podcast, we found something that we wouldn't have found like if we hadn't had it. Because I would have never read Shadow and Bone.
I probably wouldn't either. I didn't even hear about it until you brought it up. But there's other stories too that I'm just so grateful that we talked about because I love them so much. I was just going to say that I really, like, you know, when you get that craving, you're like, I just need to do this one thing. I was getting like a craving to fucking read the second book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I think it was September though, but let me finish that. No, I think it was October. I remember that I was at work. I was at work and I texted you. I don't know if you remember this day. I texted you and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to start Ruin and Rising. That's the second one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to start Ruin and Rising soon because I know that the second season is going to come out in November. So I wanted to be ready. But then I literally looked it up and I texted you right after that. And I was like, never mind. It doesn't come out until 2023.
Oh, I do remember that. Oh my God.
I really wanted to read it. Like, I was like, I want to know so bad what happened.
Wait, because I want to correct myself. The second book is Siege and Storm.
Oh, okay. See, I always mix them up. I don't know why.
I do too, because I don't know. The color red feels like a second book. That's what I like look at it. But no, Siege and Storm is the second one.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry.
That's the one where you figure out that we are the Shadow and Bone.
This whole time?
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, so end of my tangent. Should we still guess what the other person would rate this graphic novel, or
I don't think so.
No?
I think we could both be honest how we feel about it.
Okay. I know you love it. Go ahead, just say it. I know how much you love the Darkling, even though if you go back to our first episode, you were like not vibing.
I was not vibing with the ship. Like, because in Shadow and Bone, the Darkling is shipped with Alina. And at first I was down, but then like Mal
is so boring. Mal is so boring.
Okay. Honestly, you don't get it.
You're onto something.
No.
Thank you so much, Cheli. Thank you for agreeing with me.
No.
Just gaslight you.
You didn't finish the trilogy though, and I don't want to spoil too much.
No, don't.
I do want to say that the Darkling has so much character, and I appreciate it. And I think that reading this prequel, it really makes me appreciate the ending of the trilogy even more.
Really? Okay, I'm excited. So for me, okay, I don't want to come too hard for Mal because I know how much you love him and I don't want to be mean. But, sorry. But I just really like the idea of Alina being with the Darkling. Like the idea of two opposing forces, falling in love with each other was like amazing to me. But obviously I know that there's nothing really there. All they really had was like, what, one kiss? Two, maybe.
But the idea of it is really interesting. I do agree with you.
Yeah. But, yeah. So I really enjoyed reading the prequel. I'm not entirely sure which parts you were talking about that you thought that I would somehow know that it would have to, that it would pertain to, I guess, the other two books. But I just really liked seeing that tension of what the Grishas had to go through when they had to be in hiding, and how he's Eric in this one, and how Eric and his mom pretty much, it's more dangerous for them because if you don't know anything about Shadow and Bone, there are amplifiers. So bones and teeth that will amplify a Grisha's power. And so Eric and his mom themselves are the amplifiers, which just adds so much more I don't know, it's just sad to me, honestly, for a person to be an amplifier, that's just so heartbreaking. Just the idea of how easily you could be used for your abilities just makes me so sad for him and his mom.
Yeah, I do agree with you. It makes it sad. And that's why I appreciate this graphic novel, because it shows that what Eric, the Darkling, is going through, because it's a situation where he makes a friend, but at the end, the friend wanted to use him as an amplifier and is okay with killing him because she wants it.
That part was so freaking irritating. It's so sad because you think that he's finally making a friend because he and his mom they don't have homes. They have to keep moving around because it's more dangerous for them. And so
but did you notice though, when he escaped, or when that situation was over, he was just oh, I wasn't that mad at them. I get it. As if he has been through this several times.
Yeah. No, I did notice that, where they were kind of justifying the betrayal of, oh, I understand because they just feel so, what is it? Hopeless? I don't know what the word was, but they just feel like they have to do this in order to survive in this world, because the people that they're in hiding with are also Grisha, but they're different types of summoners, because there's 4 different types. Yeah. And for the Darkling, he thought that he was finally making this friend. And what was her name again?
Annika.
Annika seemed so nice. She seemed so sweet. And she really wanted to find this amplifier, but this amplifier was killed by someone else. Doesn't matter. And you'd think that, okay, she's just going to accept that, right? But she doesn't have much control over her powers, which, what was she again? She was the water one, right?
Yeah, she was the water one.
And when it showed that she was ready to kill him, I was so stressed. I was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, you seem so nice.
For a second, I thought this was going to be a story of losing his first love. That's where I thought this was going.
Oh, really? No, I had no idea.
Dude, I was really sad. And the reason I like the Darkling so much is because even in just the first book, Shadow and Bone, you think of him as okay, he does have a reason for doing what he's doing. He gives a reason and he sees it as right. So his entire character is that whole saying, the end justifies the mean. And
yeah,
in the end of this graphic novel, he does say he wants to make a better world for the Grisha, and it shows a picture of the little palace and him in the front and Grisha living together. And it makes me sad because I feel he's morally gray. He's not a completely bad character. He did have morals at one point, but because he's been through so much in his life and lived so many years and gone through so many deaths, it's just he's doing the wrong things for the right reasons, but then they slowly become the wrong reasons with freaking the shadow fold and all that shit.
Okay,
but
you make one shadow fold and all of a sudden you're the bad guy.
I know. Okay, I trapped an entire city. You're really gonna blame me? They were annoying.
Oh my god. That part in that graphic novel, Demon in the Wood, where he makes that shadow thing and Annika's little sister, Sylvie, goes in there. I literally thought, I was like, oh my god, these monsters are gonna pop out. I literally thought she was gonna die. Because I didn't know how
is that a mini shadow ball? Put it away!
I know, literally. I was like, wait, how were the monsters there? I forgot.
You know what's kind of interesting, though? I don't know if I misunderstood this, but Eric he's scared of the dark, isn't he? Or is he scared of being alone?
Yeah. No, he is scared of the dark because there was a moment when his mom left him alone and well, actually, maybe you're right. Maybe it was being alone. I can't. Let me look it up. Let me look at it. Hold
I
on.
don't know, because like being alone and like the dark are often like two things that are put together, to kind of like explain each other, like illustrate each other. And I do feel like his power is like just, how do I say this? His power describes himself. Like he is alone. And that sucks. And he kind of just lives with it. And it doesn't even seem like he enjoys his power too much. His will to move on was more like because of his mom.
Yeah, because he had his mom. And I looked at the page and he's in the dark and he's alone and it says you're too old to be afraid of the dark. So maybe it does have to do with the darkness, but it might also have to do with him being alone. But most of the time it seemed like him and his mom are always alone. And I don't think his mom would stay with him that often.
And it's sad because they're on the go all the time. And the only thing he ever wanted was to stay in a place for more than a season.
I know, he was so excited at the idea of him being in this place until like springtime, I think. I already knew. I was like, there's no way you're going to be here till spring. No way.
But fuck. Those two people who figured out he was an amplifier that tried to kill him, he killed them and then made it seem by giving himself the cut, which is like a huge thing, made it seem like they were attacked. And to defend the little village that they're part of, they killed an entire village. Yeah. And that was the village that Sylvie was at, right?
Yeah, Sylvie's dead, bro. She's dead.
No, wait, they killed the other people, though. Sylvie lived.
Oh, okay, that's the part that I was confused at. So they killed the one that was close by?
Yeah, so all those people that literally had nothing to do with the Grisha did not care, because I mean they killed an amplifier and didn't care, so they had nothing to do with it because Eric had blamed them. Everyone died.
Oh, see, that's the part where I was so confused because I didn't understand the part where he said that he was gonna put the blame on someone else, because he didn't explicitly say who it was. He was just kind of alluding to the reader that he was gonna put the blame on someone. And I was just like, I don't know who you're blaming, but now it makes sense.
Yeah, that's how I understood it. And
no, I think you're right.
It's sad because, like, you would think getting that news, he would have flashbacks of what he had seen. And yes, it shocked him, but it didn't shock him enough where this is like, it seemed like it was a common enough occurrence where it's like, oh man, that sucks.
Well, I feel like they probably have to go through this every single time that they're in a new place, because his mom did warn him, like, don't tell anyone too much about yourself, because once people learn that he's an amplifier, they all want to friggin' kill him to become more powerful. Yeah. And it's just so depressing. I feel so bad for him. It is interesting to read a prequel of his character. I obviously don't know what happens to him. I know you do, but I don't know what happens to him. I have my guesses, but I
want to hear your guess. What do you think happens?
I think he just like lives a good long life. He goes out into the woods and builds a little hut, and is his mom alive? Actually, don't answer that.
Wait.
Wait.
Wait. Don't you remember how the first book ended?
Girl, no, I don't. I don't remember.
They revealed who the mom was.
Oh,
in the first
Bagra?
book. Yeah, that's our girl Bagra.
Oh
freaking
my god,
looking like a queen.
I literally forgot about her.
Yeah, which I fucking love that they included her, because I mean, he did not show that he loved his mom in Shadow and Bone.
No, he didn't.
And I think it's interesting because in this book, in Demon in the Wood, she literally says, like, I would fucking kill anyone for you.
Aww.
And I feel like even though his views on life have changed, and even though I don't think Bagra's fully there anymore in Shadow and Bone, like mentally, like he still cares enough for her to keep her alive, which is sad to say.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that is his mom, but it is interesting to see that he doesn't seem to have that much love for her, at least from what I saw in the from the first book. No idea what happens afterwards. Also, can't believe it was the mom who betrayed him. Damn, that's messed up. after how long that you were trying to keep him alive, all of a sudden, yeah, in Shadow and Bone, when she like tells Alina.
Yeah, but she tells Alina because she doesn't see who he used to be in him. That was the point.
Who cares? That's his mom. Hello? That's his mom.
You need to help my son, Eric, Michael, or whatever.
Eric, Michael, Asher. I like that page in the graphic novel where you just see like all of the different names he's had.
Yeah, dude, that fucking sucks. I would forget.
I would too, honestly. I'd be like, I'm sorry, what was my name again?
But I like the idea of a name, like that this book does, like the weight that it carries. Because he talks about his own name and how like he's scared of forgetting it. And that
I'm sorry, you just reminded me of this movie that I had to watch in English in high school. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I don't even know what it's called. It's basically about the Salem witch trials. And
The Crucible? Hello? I love that movie. What's the name? Oh my god.
Yeah, that one. I literally, bro, I was like half paying attention to that movie in class, but when it got to that ending part where he was like, not my name or whatever, I was like, bro, just your name. But then you realize,
do you
like,
remember
damn,
that fucking part?
Yes, I do. Because I was like, wait, I kind of get it though. Like, wait, your name does hold so much weight to like who you are. And so at the time I was like, bro, just shorten it. I don't know. Isn't what is it, Kerrigan? And in the show it was Kerrigan, but you're telling me it's not. I'm assuming it's Alexander because that's what it said at the end.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to like assume anything, but just know that your first guess is wrong.
That's what his name was in the fucking show.
Well, I think that was, even if it was his name, he's probably doing what he did in Demon in the Wood, which is just having another name.
You mean to tell me that he lied to me?
Yeah, I think he lied to you. Sorry. Ben
what the heck? All of this time, I addressed him as what was his name? Kerrigan? Whatever, yeah. It doesn't matter. It's so funny to me though because love Leigh Bardugo, but why would she name him the Darkling? Like it's just so on the nose.
You know, talking about names, fuck your name.
No, that's not what I said. I'm just saying that why would you name your evil character, your surprise evil character, the Darkling?
Dude, you say that, but as soon as he was like, it was revealed that he was evil, my fucking one brain cell was so fucking shocked.
You're lying. I swear you're
not.
Lying.
Dude, I don't guess.
Lying.
No, dude, I swear.
I don't like guessing either, but I was not surprised when this happened. I was like, I hope it doesn't happen. And it happened.
Dude, I was fucking shocked.
No, stop.
Things always catch me by surprise. I just thought his name was the Darkling, but he was just a misunderstood guy.
I thought his name was the Darkling because he creates darkness. Like, that just makes sense.
Wait, the Darkling is the Dark Summoner? It's the Shadow Summoner? What?
What? Dude, what? I know you're a bad guesser, but damn.
Dude, I fucking love I love the Darkling so much.
Oh.
I love him so much. And I know that you know how I felt about Shadow and Bone, but you don't know how I felt about the other two. But I do.
No, I don't want to know.
Love the Darkling.
Oh, do you? Do you love the Darkling?
I do. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. My only thing is that obviously I don't know why, because I haven't read the other two books. So I'm a little salty and I am getting FOMO.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break while Yajaira reads the rest of the trilogy.
Okay, be right back. Okay, we're back.
Okay, we're back. You're like crying.
Can you imagine? Okay, we're back. And I wish I didn't fucking read it. I'm just kidding.
We really were the Shadow and Bone.
And it's so funny because you've mentioned this before to me where you were like, I don't know if you're going to like the ending. Like, I just don't think you're going to like it. And I'm curious. I'm really curious why you would think that.
You know, now sitting with it and reading this, it just makes it even more sad. Like, the idea of it makes it sad.
Well, now I'm sad.
Yeah. But I mean, it sucks because at the end of the day, shit happens. And that's really how I feel about the ending. This book was a short story to begin with. And I think that if I had read it, I would not have enjoyed it as much because the visuals did add a lot.
I know. I really liked it though. I hope she continues doing graphic novels because I liked seeing everything that was happening. And I don't really like read graphic novels, so I really enjoyed this experience a lot. Like I really want us to do more graphic novels now.
Yeah. And I don't know if I told you, but I was going through kind of a reading slump because my life got busy. And after reading that graphic novel, I'm like good. Like I'm so ready for everything. I'll read ACOTAR now.
Oh my god. Are you really? That one is like so long too.
I know, but I feel like a lot better after reading that. It's been a while since I've like sat down and like thoroughly enjoyed something. And I have been enjoying our last reads, but I've been reading it while working. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's just something that the more that we do this, I don't know. I was going to ask you, like, do you feel like you normally get into reading slumps because we have to read certain books at like a deadline?
Yes. Yes. Do you?
Sometimes, yeah. Like sometimes I'm like, damn, I really don't want to read this only because I'm not in the mood. And if I'm not in the mood, I'm probably not going to enjoy it. But I try to listen to music, try to get myself in like the mood of the world, you know, like I try to help myself because I don't want to go into a story like being negative. Like I never want to do that because I know that it's all about perspective. So if I'm just there, good vibes.
At the beginning when we started filming for the podcast, I don't know what changed. I think it's the amount that we film now since we film in bulk. It's just overwhelming sometimes. And it's not like I'm not going to enjoy the stories because even the ones I don't enjoy, I still enjoy reading. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, it is overwhelming. And then knowing that we have a specific date. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but sometimes I want to read something else. And then I'm like, no, because I could be using that time to be reading the book I'm supposed to read.
Dude, I feel that all the time. But that's why I try to read everything like as soon as I can, because then I get busy with like schoolwork or literally it's just school.
You're literally so freaking on it. I feel so bad because I feel like I'm always like, wait, I'm not done.
Well, honestly, I feel like us being able to record remotely might help us out a lot because now there's like less pressure in us having to read it at a certain deadline. Like I know it's more fun recording together, you know, but
yeah,
I don't want us to be burnt out at the end of this.
That's true. That is true. But overall thoughts. Demon in the Wood. It's not a 5 out of 5 because I honestly I feel like there should have been more. I know it was a short story, but I wish we could have seen the Darkling with a little more emotion because we had already reached a point in the prequel where he had already become emotionless. And I wish we would have seen what caused him to become that. You can assume it was just because of the hate, you know, that he constantly gets. But there had to be that one. You know, it probably wasn't Annika. There probably was someone else who was like hurt more than her betrayal.
Just broke his fucking heart.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely felt his emotions when he was frozen in the fucking lake. Like, he looked so fucking scared. I was like, bro, please tell me.
Yes, he did. But I wanted to see him further back. Further back.
No.
What started it all?
Back to the beginning.
No, copyright.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Just add like effects to it so it just sounds weird.
Write that fucking down. That's gonna be our fucking title.
Oh, it should be, huh?
No, but
I do agree with you though. I would have loved to see the same thing, like seeing that moment of his like emotions just get turned off, I guess, of seeing him the first time that he realized like, oh, people just want me for my ability to give them that to amplify their powers, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to see that. This was still really good though, because I still liked seeing how his mother and him have to constantly be moving around to survive. Mm-hmm. But I do agree with you though. I think it would have been nice to go further back.
But I did enjoy it overall, and I think I would give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing. Wonderful. Queen behavior. I, as someone who has not read the trilogy, I still really enjoyed the story. I like the idea of the Darkling a lot. I liked him when we did Shadow and Bone because I knew there was something else going on with him. Oh, plus the Netflix show definitely showed more backstory to him that the first book didn't really say much about him besides, oh, I'm evil now. Tricked ya. I really like the depth to his character. I normally like morally gray characters because they're usually more fun. So reading this was enjoyable. I liked it a lot. And like I said, I don't really normally read graphic novels. So this was a really good, I guess, introduction to it. Next up, we're going to do the Twilight graphic novels. Please stay tuned.
Stop, dude. I thought you were going to say the after graphic novel. Hello?
Oh, but that's after. Duh.
Stop.
I'm just totally kidding. Don't expect that at all. I think I would give it the same. I think I would give it like a 3.84. Like, I really liked it. I just wish that we would have seen a little bit more.
If you are listening to us on podcast form, thank you so much. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. If you can please leave a review or rating, because it really helps with us getting more out there, helps with exposure. Mm-hmm. Also, if you want to tell your friends, loved ones, hated ones, anyone about us, the best type of exposure is through word of mouth. And just thank you, by the way, to everyone who's been actually listening to our podcast.
I know. We've been getting so many new listeners. It's kind of crazy, right? To see how many people are listening to our episodes. I can't thank you enough. It means so much to us, especially to those that have given us 5 stars. I know I've said this like in every episode, but I think rating us 5 stars really helps us with exposure, like makes us be more so recommended to other people. So seriously, just if you like what we're doing, then please just keep doing that and share our episodes, our videos, whatever. That would mean the world to both of us.
If you are watching us on video form on YouTube, hi, thank you. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We typically post every Tuesday and Thursday. We are trying to catch up with YouTube though. It's kind of hard when we live like 100 miles away from each other.
we don't, but also yeah, some of these oh, shh. Don't tell them where we live. Some of these episodes will not have a video version. I think we're just probably going to do like an audio version on YouTube. But I'm not sure yet. So we'll have to like film more videos for YouTube itself, but we'll figure that out when we get there.
And then thank you for everyone who is following us on social media. We are on Instagram under the Book Fix Pod, THEBOOKFIXPOD, if you want to see our videos there. But we are more active on TikTok if you would like to follow us. It is the Book Fix, THEBOOKFIX. And thank you so much for that big influx of followers that we got recently.
I know.
Oh my God. It's so nice
It's crazy. It's so exciting and scary. I don't know.
It is. Remember when we started this podcast, I told you that my biggest fear was to be seen.
What? That's your biggest fear?
I remember because I was so against us having a camera.
You wanted us to have like masks. I remember that.
Dude, I fucking didn't even want to be recognized because I don't know. Of course, it's changed now. I mean, I'm on TikTok.
Yeah.
So,
but I feel like
it's be seen.
It's nice though. It's nice. It feels more personal.
It does. It really does. And I do love what we're doing. So thank you everyone who, is supporting us along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
But we reached the end of the episode. Usually at the end, we roll a dice and it's one on an app. I'm sorry, it's not a real one. I'll make a sound effect if that helps. But when we roll it, if we get an odd number, we read a negative review off of Goodreads. And if it lands on an even number, we read a positive review off of Goodreads. And whatever the review is, we just leave it at that. We don't mention anything about it.
Yes, we're not talking about it. We're not endorsing it. Nothing. We leave it in the air.
Yes. So why don't you go ahead and roll the dice and I will read a review.
Okay. Sounds good. Let me just press this app and I'll roll it right
I'll
now.
make a sound. That was it.
Oh my God, amazing. I got a 4.
Okay, so that is an even number. So we are going to read a positive review off of Goodreads. It currently has a 4.2, by the way.
Wow.
On Goodreads.
Which is really good.
I know. Okay, let me go ahead and find the review. This review is written by Carlota. She gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads, and it reads, I didn't need another reason to root for the villain, but thank you. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. Oh my God. Which graphic novel are we going to read next?
Okay, you're asking the right person. We can read The Girl in the Sea. We can read Bloom. We can read Magical Boy. Oh my God. You tell me what you want. I'll give you one. Do you want spice? You want spice? We can read a spicy one.
Oh my God, I want spice. Hell yeah.
Okay, looks like we gotta change Book Fix to graphic Book Fix.
Literally, because it's rated R.
Oh my God, thank you. That's really good, actually.
My brain
Write
just
it down,
got
TM,
so
TM,
big.
no one can get it.
TM.